Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GAC Group 2015 ITTF World Tour. This is the Polish Open, a major series on the World Tour. I'm Adam Bobrow here in Warsaw, Poland. An outstanding crowd of table tennis fanatics from all over the country have come to see this tournament, and this match will be the concluding match of the tournament. The top two men playing in this tournament, from a performance standpoint, one of them's a very surprise visitor. That's the one standing on the left, the European player left in the tournament. Stefan FEGERL, world rank number 42, made it all the way to the top two spots in the tournament, despite everyone else who's entered. And Zhendong, the defending champion, world rank number 3, at 18 years old, he's playing the 27-year-old opponent from Austria. Head umpire, Przemysław Kozłowski and Maciej Pietrzakowski, both from Poland. So Zhendong was given the big test last week at the Men's World Cup, allowed to play in the place of Xu for China. And when it came to facing Ma Long in the finals, had a chance in game one, was up 7-5, a little bit of a break off the top of the net. Now most people remembering the match will just remember that Ma Long simply steamrolled Zhendong and that Zhendong had no chance. But it definitely did not appear that way to me in game one. Zhendong was in control, leading the whole game. There were two lucky breaks for Ma Long, and then everything turned around. The confidence was on the side of Ma Long, who clearly wanted it. So much so that when he finally won the match, he rolled over backwards in a somersault. And what he did to his neck has caused him to exit this tournament early, defaulting after his match against 12-year-old sensation Tomokazu Harimoto from Japan. Harimoto managed to take down Tanrei Wu, top Croatian player, in a very exciting 7-game battle. So Zhendong got through Xu in the semifinals. Had his struggles here and there throughout, lost his first game in the main draw to Russian under-21 player, but still managed to pick it up. Stefan FEGERL on the other side has pulled off one of the biggest upsets in modern history. This year there have been several big upsets, but again, a non-Chinese player to beat one of the top Chinese players, let alone the only currently playing Grand Slam winner, Zhang Jike, is a huge upset. So Zhendong started off against Sadi Ismailov from Russia, 4-1 victory there. Then Li Hu from Singapore, 4-0. Alexander Shibaev, 4-1. And then Wang Yang yesterday, an outstanding match against the defender from Slovak Republic. And then after that, it was the match against Xu. But right here, Stefan FEGERL, currently number 42 in the world, 23rd seed in this tournament, and is not even in the race to Lisbon yet, although this is a major series, so it should help out his score in the race to Lisbon. Still has a long way to go to be one of the top 16. 27 years old, these two have never faced off in a world tour. Zhendong is number 7 in the race to Lisbon. Last year, China had no representatives in the World Tour Grand Finals. And it was a spectacular finals between Jun Mizutani and Dmitry Ovtcharov. But this year, several Chinese players racing to get to Lisbon. Speaking of Chinese players, there's the head coach and former player, the legend, Lu Guoliang from China. Again, having a serious talk, a good 30-minute lecture to Xu after his spanking of Wang Chunting. And he came out here today against Zhendong, struggled a little bit. Had a chance in game 4 to pull ahead 3-1. But it turned out the other way and Zhendong took it. Both players agree they're ready to start. Now, most people coming into the Zhang Jike match would have said Stefan FEGERL's odds were slim to none, but he did it in 6 games. Asking others here in the crowd, they'd probably put about 5% on Stefan FEGERL, his chances to come through. At least Sebastian, someone named Sebastian. Here we go, best of 7. Fan Zhendong starting strong. Again, a little less pressure on Fan Zhendong than last time, playing Ma Long in the finals. Coach is watching for his audition for the Olympic spot. The power of the Fan Zhendong backhand. Now, FEGERL has a very strong receive over the table. We've seen it many times with the backhand. Toward the end of his match with Zhang Jike, he was blocking softly, then looking for the opportunity to jump in with power. Heavy underspin half long to the forehand side. Goodness, highlight of the day. We've seen so many incredible points. Chop block so short. This point had everything, even FEGERL's laughing. Look at this ball, and a touch shot from down near the ground, manages to get it back and edge, but he keeps it in play. The crowd had to hush themselves to stay quiet for this. And then the white line of the table, just outstanding. And after that last point, it feels like it should automatically be tie game, but it's 5-0 for Fan Zhendong. Outstanding power, 2 backhands in a row from Fan Zhendong, and if this is going to be the way it goes point-wise, crowd will still be thrilled to see Fan Zhendong so on fire. Now, despite his loss to Ma Long in the finals last week, remember, he had beaten Ma Long 3 times in a row before in the Chinese Super League with a record of 35-1, only 1 loss in the Chinese Super League. Recovering it again off the top of the net from down low near the ground. So the net hasn't been working so well. I think the edge of the table might be a little more effective. He just can't be stopped right now. Fan Zhendong hitting it so hard. Both sides again turning. FEGERL's hanging in there. He's getting many of these shots back. Quality counter loops, blocks. This is the power. When Ma Long once said over lunch in Kuwait with Fan Zhendong, I want Fan Zhendong's power, I need to go to more buffets. This is what he was talking about. That serve was quite troubling for Zhang Jike. No problem so far for Fan Zhendong. Now the question of the mercy point, the suspense moment. 10-0. Fan Zhendong gives him the mercy point. The crowd loves it. And that's all it takes. 1 mercy point and the follow-up serve. 11-1 victory for the 18-year-old Fan Zhendong. The way Stefan FEGERL's been playing this tournament, that's still quite impressive. A lot of chatter in the crowd. Stick around for game 2 to see how it goes. Stefan FEGERL back for game 2. Game 1 already happened. Just 12 points, 11 of which Zhendong was playing. And the streak continues. Only point so far, a mercy point into the net at 10-0. There we go. Tie game. Stefan FEGERL getting his first point this game. Good read from Zhendong, just barely coming off the forehand side of the table at the back edge. There we go, some power from FEGERL down low on the forehand side. These were the counter loops we saw when he played Zhang Jike, pulled off the upset 4-2. Even in slow motion, so difficult to see that ball. FEGERL's got power. Also a little trouble receiving that serve. Smart play, last moment turns and opens up wide to the forehand. Already a drastically different game than we saw in game 1. FEGERL's going to be most effective right on top of the table. Counterattack from the backhand side, and he takes the lead. The lead, I say. This is almost a joke out here. FEGERL grunting shot after shot, fighting from the backhand corner. So much power, and finally gets Zhendong the miss. I have to imagine they're cheering Jiao for Zhendong, as FEGERL is not a fluent Chinese speaker. As far as I know, anyway. Still a 1-point lead for FEGERL. Counter looping rally, but so much power to finish that from Zhendong. Played off the body in the middle of the table and then back out wide to the forehand side. I'm still curious where all the Chinese fans came from. Maybe someone called and said, hey, there's a European player in the finals. We need more Chinese fans in the audience quickly. Side spin off the top of the net, the break to FEGERL. Obviously, table tennis quite popular in China. Fans come from all over the world to see their team dominate, see their players in action. I can't believe we're looking at the same guy who just lost game 1, 11-1 against Zhendong. Completely different tactics out here, fighting for every point. Sometimes you just have to be reminded, there's no saving energy. This is the last match of your tournament. Play it like it's the last match of your life. On top of the table, punches it back. Again, FEGERL keeping the threat up. 8 points to 5, he's leading. Winning this game could win him more than just the game, but some confidence and put a dent in the confidence of his opponent. If he can get Zhendong to tense up a little bit, it wouldn't hurt his chances. Surprise location on that serve, short to the forehand side. Smart setup for Fan Zhendong. Just missing long on the table. FEGERL's hanging in there for the shots this game. The rallies are getting longer. The intention of the serve, the follow-up, but still, he's not going to win many points from that far back off the table. Soft spinny backhand for the point. Crucial point right there. 2 points away from taking the game. Usually we get some sort of response from the Europeans in the crowd. Almost brings it back for one more. This time they've switched roles. FEGERL in the blocking position, and Fan Zhendong does not seem to tire out. Legs of a boxer out there running all around the court for the loops. Still down by one. Attempt for the forehand flip kill. Well-placed serve, low, half long on the forehand side. And at the third towel break, the lead has diminished. It's now tied up. That signature serve from Fan Zhendong, and now the service trouble. Very effective serves from FEGERL. Let's see if he can pull out two for the game. Oh, a break off the top of the net. As soon as Fan Zhendong opens up like that, you feel like there's no hope. That's one way to make sure you get the point. Obviously unintentional. FEGERL apologizing to Fan Zhendong. But now he's got the serve again to take the game. Big backhand, and he does it. An 11-1 loss in game one. And the crowd, still in disbelief, comes back to an 11-9 in game two. You never know, a game's a game, and right now it's tied up at one game each. Game three just after this. So after the first game, we saw a long conversation with Stefan FEGERL and the new Austrian coach. Fan Zhendong already back at the table early. Lou Goliong probably didn't have a lot to say. Keep it up. A lot more conversation this time around. Counterattack. FEGERL making his move back on the forehand side, anticipates the cross-court shot and spins it back for the winner. Down the line punch shots, FEGERL really putting the pressure on. It's a big victory right there, that point for Fan Zhendong. Way down low. That spin shot barely even lifts his body, still in squatting position when he takes that backhand. Aggressive backhand. FEGERL takes the point. The block right off it. It's like he has to hit it as hard as he can whenever he can and expect it to come back immediately. Right down the line, the counterattack from deep in the backhand court. FEGERL getting the crowd riled up. Europeans in the crowd pretty thrilled. Chop block there deep on the table, inside out forehand, and opens up down the line. Attempts to play the softer shot, change up the pace a little bit, handcuffed by Zhendong. Top of the net and out. Lead back to FEGERL by 2. Score is actually 4-2 for Stefan FEGERL. Just missing the back edge off the top of the net. Still a long ways to go, but if FEGERL could win this match, this would be huge news around the world. Just missing on the counter. Set it up with the light chop over the table. Go Liang encouraging his young player here. Whew. Very close. Top of the net, but it stays on his side. FEGERL extends his lead back up 5-3. This is table tennis, loses game 1, 11-1, comes back to win and take the lead next 2 games. Goes for it, but just can't reach it. An aggressive punch block down the line from Zhendong. Long serve to open, commits to that one. A little bit of extra side spin on it too from Zhendong to bend it away. Beautifully placed shot right in on the body for the counter. So many things have to be right to win a point against Zhendong. Hey, we're on TV. A little bit off the top of the net, but nonetheless a powerful shot from Zhendong out wide. Puts him within 1 point again. Some of those back-bending blocks over there. FEGERL's managed to keep the ball in play from some of the top loops in the world. Powerhouses in table tennis. Tries to keep it down to the short side of the table, but it gets away. 6 each, tied up. Sort of an in-between shot. FEGERL has the soft block where he absorbs it all just to keep it in play and set himself up for the next opportunity. Kicking serve, a little bit of top and side for the reverse pendulum from FEGERL. Gets him back in the lead in game 3. See him catching the top half of the ball on the outside. Topspin serves tougher to keep short, but more likely to kick. And this time completely fools Zhendong. And by completely, I mean Zhendong still almost makes it, but has trouble reading the spin. FEGERL pulling back the racket just after the point of contact. Miss hit for the final shot off the hand of FEGERL. Could hear the sound and see him immediately shaking his hand. It's cold outside but warm in the hall, or else that would have really stung. Miss hit for the backhand attack. FEGERL knows the type of pressure he has to keep on Zhendong. Going for the shots, his mentality is right. Big opening early in the point, turns on it, grunting for every shot he can. Top of the net and just out. FEGERL's playing incredibly well, but it's still not enough against Zhendong. A few openings here and there, block shots, counters. Anything he can do to find the body of Zhendong, right on the elbow. Down the line, little break off the top of the net, and we're at 9-all again. Last game at 9-all, FEGERL had the serves. This time it's going to be Zhendong. Just off the back edge of the table. Only option Zhendong has there is to lob it almost sky high. Much easier said than done. The fact that he can even reach that ball, testament to how fast his footwork is. Soft receive. Out of all the things that Stefan FEGERL needed in this moment, I would have expected an aggressive receive there, but he touches it softly. Zhendong does not keep his rhythm, and it's another game point for FEGERL. Crowd chanting for Stefan. And he does it! 11-9, 2 games in a row after an 11-1 loss, and game 1 takes the lead. The unthinkable is happening. We'll see. He's still got a ways to go, but what a performance. Game 4 just after this. You don't want to miss it. Zhendong back for game 4, trailing 1-2 against Stefan FEGERL. Power takes the first point. Zhendong with the forehand. Change of pace works sometimes, but that time you saw Stefan FEGERL hitting his head. Not happy with his decision there in that point. One soft shot. Crowd still supporting the European for an even greater upset. Goes for power after the spinny 2 opening shots. As well as FEGERL played in the semifinals, it still won't become completely real until he has 3 games. The threat factor, that is, of course, 4 games needed for it to really become real. Both coaches completely tense in their corners. Excellent change of heart at the last moment. Zhendong down the line. Looked like he was going to go inside out cross court. Score looking a lot more like in game 1, the first 6 points to Zhendong. In game 2, FEGERL came out with different plans, from service to his receive game to initiating attack. And he's on the board with his first point. Still a long way to go in this game, down 1-6. The forehand of Zhendong has been countered several times in this match through games 2 and 3. But quite difficult, of course. You can see fans and players packed back there behind the rails. Skylob just missing the edge of the table. Not only the fact that Zhendong is not especially tall, but the lights. We've seen people lose the ball in their serves in the lights. A skylob here and there might be tough to stay on top of. Excellent touch. FEGERL left all alone and nobody's home, just drops it off in the mailbox center of the table. Zhendong was committed out wide. Look at the bend on that ball, so much side spin. Just thinking, it's quite rare that we see Zhendong in a position to not go for the ball. He seems to be lunging and leaping for everything. Well placed right on the hip. FEGERL's a tall guy, has to get out of the way for that shot. The placement of that receive so strong. Misleads with the body, looks like he's going cross court. Now it's 7 game points for Zhendong to tie it up. Outstanding point. FEGERL not fazed by anything but the last shot, it seems, and still Zhendong with a convincing 11-3 victory. It's tied up at 2 games each. We'll be back for game 5 just after this short speaking with the coaches moment. So we're back for game 5. Stefan FEGERL of Austria fighting here against Fan Zhendong, world rank number 3. Tied up at 2 games each, not that points matter, but for your knowledge, 40 points to Fan Zhendong, 26 to Stefan FEGERL. And yet he starts off game 5 in the lead. A little bit flat on that counter. FEGERL's going to have to keep some topspin on it to increase his chances. This is one of the things that makes Fan Zhendong so effective, is his ability to keep topspin on the ball in fast counter rallies. Backhand to backhand. Fan Zhendong feeling the pressure to change up location, play it down the line. Almost closes it out for the wide counter shot on the run. FEGERL anticipating and moving. Again, you could hear the sound, not a lot of topspin on that counter from FEGERL. By most people's standards, just reaching it is the goal. Top of the net and just out, Fan Zhendong takes the lead. Quick to get over to the towel, watching FEGERL quite carefully to see what's going on. Body language. Checking the flooring out there, making sure his shoes are gripping. Again, the pressure here on every shot. He's really got to keep his composure, stay down when he can. Fan Zhendong right into the body. Again, forcing the uncomfortable forehand block. Bit of a flat hit attempt back from the middle. The element of surprise here, you could see FEGERL wasn't ready to move to the forehand side. Fan Zhendong putting the pressure on quickly. And he's coming from the same place each time, which makes it so tough to detect. Soft spin shot as Fan Zhendong backs off the table. It's also funny to describe a shot as soft at this level when he hits it that hard, but compared to some of their real power attacks, it's a change of pace out here. It's a good time for that shot. Earned the right shot, just wasn't able to execute. Just missing the back edge again. Fan Zhendong painting the line of the table. And just too much time for Fan Zhendong to really turn and pick his spots here. Strong receive deep to the backhand, and he plays it right down the line. FEGERL out to the open forehand. Doesn't turn the body, doesn't telegraph. This would be a huge comeback for FEGERL, but it feels like it's got to happen now. Side of the table, that's FEGERL's point. Takes it wide and out to the forehand side. Timeout called by Lu Guoliang. Trying to cut it off. Cut off the comeback. And we didn't realize how strong the Chinese presence was in the crowd. Got a few cheerleaders here really getting the crowd going. And it sounds like some counter cheering in the crowd. It's all still safe here, very safe here. Nobody seems to be threatening. A lot of smiles from the Polish crowd. Chinese fans watching with smiles as well, nervously. At the loss of Zhang Jike earlier, the girl in front of us broke down crying pretty hard. I said, don't worry, there's still 2 Chinese on the other side. We got a decent chance here. Someone's gonna play in the finals representing China, don't you worry. And it's this man right here, Fan Zhendong, 18 years old. Youth Olympic gold medal winner. Not playing the under-21 men's. He's just playing in the big leagues right now. Number 3 in the world. The defending champion of the Polish Open from last year. But 27-year-old Stefan FEGERL making his campaign right here to continue running for the comeback. Long serve, and Fan Zhendong takes control early in the point. FEGERL's done that serve long with heavy underspin on several occasions to fool his opponent. Outstanding point, the chop block. This is reminiscent of the point of the match. Not quite the same theatrics throughout. Not quite as short of a chop block, but still enough to change up the rhythm, and FEGERL gets back on the attack. Overshoots the middle of the table from the backhand corner with the forehand loop. FEGERL now 2 serves and 2 points away from tying it up. Again, a pivotal point in the match. Short side of the table, unbelievable shot from Fan Zhendong, and he is fired up. That's a game point. He's got 3 of them now. Look where he has to hit it to win this point. FEGERL not falling down. Low shots just inside the line, parallel shot here. And sneaks it past the reach of Stefan FEGERL. Now down 3 game points with his second serve. Huge backhand, and Fan Zhendong turns it around, takes control, 11-7 to go up 3 games to 2. Crowd loving what they're seeing, no matter who they're rooting for or where they're from. Game 6, just after this. Fan Zhendong starting off game 6 with the point. FEGERL back against the ropes right now. Huge counterattacking point for Stefan FEGERL. Really unloading the fire on each of these shots, playing the middle of the table, then wide to the forehand and back, pulling a backhand out of Zhendong there, trying to get him off balance. Bit of side spin, pushing him to try and break it wider and wider. Soft shot just long. Still early in the game, FEGERL getting some support from the crowd. Big shot right down the line. FEGERL squaring up and not taking any chances getting into the rally here. And the biggest supporter of them all, Lu Guoliang. There it is again, punishes him for stepping around. Big backhand over the table. FEGERL under pressure is delivering on several points so far. Big shot, plays it down the line, back in. And as soon as Zhendong commits to the backhand, straightens out, just can't reach it, even on the lunge. Big shot again, the backhand from deep into the forehand side of the table. With the first towel break, FEGERL leading 4-2. And you can hear the crowd chanting for Stefan FEGERL. In that battle of cheers, Stefan FEGERL wins. Almost crawling to recover the around the net shot. He had fooled him on this serve, earned a high third ball there to attack, but it was uncomfortably high into the backhand. Almost getting that ball. Seen Zhendong recover it from near the ground a few times. Smart play, goes right back into the backhand instead of playing predictably down the line. Zhendong would anticipate it there, has seen it so many times. Little safer shot too for FEGERL, playing the length of the table with power. Zhendong doesn't move too early, gets up straight for the backhand instead of racing to cover the forehand. This is what the physical fitness does. Backhand just thunderous from Zhendong, snapped right off the bounce. The counter cheering continues. FEGERL takes the point, 2-point lead. The last upset he pulled off was in game 6. But right here, it's gonna have to go to a 7th if he wants to take the match. He serves some big serves for momentum to take a more comfortable lead, more encouraging lead, I guess I should say. Just missing the backhand to the middle of the table. Outside of the deep receive that came up a little high to the backhand before. Haven't seen Zhendong having too much trouble receiving the serve lately. Pressured wide to the forehand. It's tied up 2 in a row from Zhendong. It's rare that we see FEGERL going for a ball just to keep it on the table. Usually anything he can do to counter it back. Heavy spin shot sneaks under the racket of FEGERL. That's 2 in a row and it's tied up. Right into the leg. FEGERL had several pattern plays, keeping it deep on the table, lunging back to punch it down the line or into the body. Counter alleys forehand to forehand when he gets wide. It's been quite effective. Short side of the table, he does it, manages to keep the spin down and angle it out, hook it wide. Big pressure moment right here. Deep push, keeps it low, comes around the ball, and you can see how low that is. Still bending away from Zhendong to this very moment. Flat counter attempt from the forehand side, and Zhendong takes it back. Very spirited crowd here. Miss hit from Zhendong. Serve toss is starting to come back into the body a little bit more in the tight situations. A little bit less likely to be called. Whatever help FEGERL can get on his serve. Making sure the palm's dry, no moisture on the ball. Two big points for FEGERL. 2 points away from sending this to a 7th game. And the counter cheering starts again. Full extension on that stroke from Zhendong, but he doesn't get over the net. Soft receive, and it's 3 game points for Stefan FEGERL. After the way game 1 went, who would have ever guessed that we would be seeing such a close battle out here? Fast serve for an outright point from Zhendong. And now the serve master has 2 chances to finish this off. Send it to a 7th game at the 3rd towel break. FEGERL's got a lot to think about. If he can serve something that looks heavy and is dead, it's been quite effective for popping it up, getting 3rd ball attacks. Let's see what he pulls out here. There it is! Stefan FEGERL 11-8 in game 6, and we are going to a 7th and deciding game. What a show for the crowd. Don't go anywhere. You do not want to miss what could potentially be the greatest 2 upsets back-to-back from a European player since 2003. Game 7, you're watching the Polish Open men's singles finals. Right after this, stay here. We're back for game 7. The cheering continues. Beautiful shot, Zhendong out wide to the forehand side, and he's fired up to take the first point of game 7. This is the last game of the tournament. Zhendong both feet in the air for 2 of those shots. Just missing, playing the short side of the table, Stefan FEGERL. The real test is now. He's made it this far to the end of the game. Spin shot, a little bit of side spin from over the table, and he has not thrown in the towel yet. Made it all the way this far to game 7. He wants it and he wants it bad. Watch this, comes around the outside of the ball from 1 foot in the backhand corner. And it's trouble, a little bit of side spin again, throwing the rhythm and breaking the rhythm of Zhendong. If body language says anything, Zhendong is feeling the stress and pressure right now. A little bit off balance for that shot, the crowd behind him. Both of these players have cheering sections here. Backhand off the top of the net and out. You can see he's hungry for the attack, looking for the opportunity and as early in the point as possible. The serves have been trouble all tournament long for the opponents. For Zhang Jike, for Zhendong, tied up 3 everything, games, points. Just missing long on the back corner. Blasted right into the body, Zhendong taking the lead. If you have heart issues, you might want to turn off the TV right now. This is getting pretty intense. Fast serve, and he sends FEGERL back from the table, running off to the forehand side. We're going to switch sides of the table. Zhendong leading 5-3. We've seen switches change. As far as momentum and leads, we got the timeout in Stefan FEGERL's corner. Matthias Carlsen against Stefan FEGERL. This was the last time Stefan FEGERL came back from down in game 7. The opponents are quite different, although the way Matthias Carlsen's been playing this tournament, they're a lot closer than they normally would be. So far, the service game of Stefan FEGERL has been effective. His receive game has been a little bit of trouble against Zhendong's serves. The long serves into the body. Lu Guoliang, quite a brilliant coach. Combination of pressure, tough love, tactics, encouragement. Zhendong's pulled out some different tricks here in game 7. But with a new coach in the Austrian corner, Stefan FEGERL has a whole lot of brain power, not to mention years of experience at 27 years old. Playing with one of the strongest teams in the world, the European champions. And now back from the timeout, down 3-5, Stefan FEGERL is going to have the serve. And it's a trouble serve again. Problem for Zhendong. FEGERL with that reverse pendulum from in near the body, very difficult to read. And he blocks back the first loop, ties it up at 5 points each. Right out of the timeout, gets some momentum. The quality of that block, even though he was hopping, manages to keep it low to the net, deep on the table. Top of the net and just out. Fast long push, and it's loaded with underspin, 6 each. I think the crowd would be screaming for every single point right now if they hadn't spent so much energy on the first half of this game, let alone the entire match. Dead even again at 6 points each, game 7. A good look at the DHS Double Happiness Ball, sponsor for the World Tour. Smart play, blocks it behind Zhendong, forcing an uncomfortable chop shot. Takes the lead, he was down 3-5. And has scored 4 out of the last 5 points. Really had to keep his body weight in to stay over that ball. Not allow Zhendong any time to get back and recover for another loop. And a second serve here. Oh, blasted into the body. Several loops and a chole from Zhendong. FEGERL fighting for the opportunity to go up 2 points here. He recovers one of those, blocks it back from right in the middle. Final ball catching the edge of the racket. With the pace and spin on that, it's amazing FEGERL can get it back so many times in the first place. Zhendong now tied up with the serves. Huge shot out to the forehand, and there's no chance of that ball coming back. Zhendong just exploding through that. We don't see much hesitation out here right now from Zhendong once he's got the confidence to take his shots. If Stefan FEGERL can throw off his pace a little bit, get him hesitating, he's going to have to take this point right here. Side spin does not bother Zhendong this time. Plows through it again down the short side of the table. The pressure is on. Not a very high ball, but just enough. Zhendong stays low, and look at that swing. Like a hurricane. Two serves here and a chance to tie it up for FEGERL. Just missing the short corner of the table. The point got better and better as it went, and Zhendong fired up. Full beast mode right now, 10 out of 10. And he's got 10 points to go with it. Short side of the table, hanging in there for everything. The fast blocks, counterattacks. FEGERL still almost gets that last ball, but just shy of the table. Right on the white of the line for that. Can't bend it back. 3 match points for Zhendong. Second serve for Stefan FEGERL. FEGERL's going to have to pull something out here to save this match point. And that is it. Zhendong retains his championship. What a battle. A Yole and a 7-game thriller. After a nearly 11-0 victory in game 1 with a mercy point, FEGERL fighting, just could not do it. 11-7 in Game 7, but what a valiant effort and incredible tournament from Stefan FEGERL, world rank number 42 against world rank number 3, and the two-time champion of the Polish Open, Zhendong. The crowd really got their money's worth today. One of the most incredible days I've seen for table tennis in quite some time. That was the men's singles finals, and the 18-year-old Zhendong is our champion. Stick around, we've got the awards ceremony coming up. I'm Adam Bobrow, and you're watching the Polish Open.